Have members that are on the Zoom intake. It's gonna, Mr. Lackey, can you go down and mute these people who are live on the intake?
My microphone not working.
This is for. See a full house. I'm still getting that feedback. Can you speak into the mic?
Testing, testing.
That microphone is dead. This is at D3.
And the light is on the green, but nobody.
Okay, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Anything you can do remotely?
So what's the issue?
The issue is the mic for Mr. El Shafi is visibly on, but it's not audible. You don't hear elevated voice like you're hearing mine through this microphone.
Okay, Council.
Can anybody else check their microphone?
Yeah, mine's fine.
Test? You got a test? Okay. We only have one out. Is that localized? Is that a turn on and off issue?
Councilman Shafi, on the bottom of the mic, there's a slider for on and off.
Okay, I'm moving it. I got it all the way up.
You got some prompts for him, Mr. Lackey? On and off?
Yeah, so if he's got it on and he's got the green, and is the green light staying on?
Okay, now the green light went off and the red light is on.
Okay, so
Okay, green light is staying on now. Done.
well, he'll just have to switch to one of the wireless mics.
Okay.
The charge. Yep, it looks like it. Just one.
Because I actually, they should put it on, what's the name? Okay, all right.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
It's easily read. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's 7:02 p.m. and I'd like to call the meeting to order. This is the Highland Park City Council in-person and virtual regular meeting scheduled for Monday, October 2nd, 2023 at 7 p.m. Madam Deputy Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Ashafi,
Here.
Councilwoman Martin,
Here.
Councilwoman Manica,
Here.
Council Pro Tem Robinson,
Here.
Council President Thomas.
Here, thank you very much. At this point, we will give members of City Council an opportunity, those of you who haven't had a chance to peruse the agenda, to take a look at the agenda, and then the chair will be open to entertaining a motion to take action on said agenda.
Permission, Council President, to be heard.
Council would like to address, our legal counsel would like to address City Council. If you would, ma'am.
Yes, at the request of CED, Mr. Hinton, we're asking that item 7A under Community Development be removed.
That is a request from the Community and Economic Development Department
Yes.
for the removal of item 7A. Members to ponder that. And
Is
then
that,
the chair will wait and entertain a motion on how we should handle today's agenda.
Council President,
Yes, sir.
is that A, B, and C? Because it's all the same.
No, just A, just parcel A.
He's just parcel A?
Correct.
Okay.
Council President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda with amendments.
Yes, sir. And those amendments would be?
Okay, so for community development, I would like to have A, B, and C sent back. I would like to have them removed from the agenda and sent back to planning.
Yes, sir. So we have a motion on the floor from Councilman El Shafi as it relates to amending the agenda. He has made a motion to approve today's agenda with one amendment, and that amendment will be to strike item 7, A, B, and C, and
Yes,
move it to
A,
the
B, and
next
C.
and move it to the next city council meeting. Do we have support for that on the floor?
No. Council President, I want it removed and sent back to the planning.
I will repeat your statements. He wants to make a motion to approve the agenda with one amendment, and that amendment will be for item 7, A, B, and C. He would like those items to be sent back to CED for correction. Is that the right word?
Yes.
For correction.
Yeah, and I can give a reason for it if you would like so.
Members, would you require explanation from the councilman on this? And mind you, I'm looking for a second. He's going to
Yes.
frame it. Mr. El Shafi, the floor is yours.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Okay, so items A, B, and C, they need a little bit more work to them. They violate ordinance 208.10, 208.11. They violate 208 period. They violate 208. I'm sorry. They violate ordinance 238, ordinance 242, ordinance 1220, ordinance 1222, ordinance 1226, ordinance 1230, ordinance
Okay, wait.
1232,
Hold on a second.
ordinance
Let him finish.
1260, and 1274.
Okay, 1260 and 1274, you said?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Mr. El Shafi is proposing to send these back to CED. He has cited a number of specific examples where the documents that he has reviewed are not in alignment with his interpretation of these ordinances. So what is at stake right now is Mr. El Shafi has made a motion to approve the agenda. His request, his amendment is that we take this item and we send it back to CED. He stated his reasons for that. Do we have support on the floor? Do we have support on the floor?
Were we looking for, because he gave us all the,
Yeah, he gave us the framing, but what he ultimately said is he would like to send item 7, A, B, and C, back to CED and that it come back to us in a subsequent meeting.
Yes.
He gave a list of reasons why, and right now the question at hand is there support for Mr. Al Shafi's motion to have this item sent back to CED for updates? Whatever those updates could be, he listed his reasons, but whatever those updates could be, his suggestion is to send this item back to CED and remove it from tonight's agenda. Do we have support?
I think there's no support because we don't know what each one of those are. So maybe it would be better in discussion of the agenda. I don't know if you could hear me. I'm sorry.
I did. I heard you. I heard you. I heard you. But I want to, I can't interpret what the gentleman is suggesting. But if I read what I hear, it is that on these other items, B and C, he is probably not likely to be in alignment with B or C because he gave me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 ordinance references as it relates to this item. I would not like to see anything fail on the floor. I would actually like to see a complete item come back if that would be the case.
So
I would
then
not like to see any item from a developer fail on the floor. Yes, ma'am.
But I think there's no response right now because everybody doesn't know what, I stopped counting. So it had to be at least 10
Yes, ma'am.
ordinance that he cited. And so we would have to know what each one of those that he's calling out. And so
Yes,
right
ma'am.
now can you hear me? Can you hear me now? So you would have to be able to know what he's citing. I think he gave about 12. How many did you give, Mr. Shafi? 10, 12?
Two would have been enough for me. 2 would have been enough. I mean, it's a
But
rare
either
thing.
way, we don't know
Yeah.
what,
Yes, but
and so I think it would be better if it maybe got tabled or to just, still, because even if he's saying, I want to take these off the agenda,
they come back next
nobody
meeting.
knows what he's referring to. You get what I'm saying? I know he's
Hold on a
what he's
second, hold on a
citing.
second, Mr. Shafi, if you could just
Okay,
pause for
okay.
just a second.
So, Council President,
Hold on just a second. Hold on just a second. I'm actually in support of you. Hold on a second here. What I'm saying is, if you just look at 208.1 and 208.11, I got it. I already got it on my computer. So what he's saying
What section?
is
just look at.
not take action on this at all tonight, to send it back to CED for whatever corrections need to be made, even if it's just one of those. We should have to get this on the floor and vote on it, even if it's just one of those issues. This is a Highland Park development, so I want this to be successful. I don't want to have no hiccups with the Highland Park development. If it means waiting one meeting to get it right, I'm not in favor of considering the fact that we were just recommended by our legal counsel to remove one item. We were advised to remove item A because there was an additional amount of information that was needed for item A to be complete. And a member of city council made a suggestion that why don't we remove A, B, and C and send it back to CED for his perceived challenges in ordinance 208.10, 208.11, 208 period, 238, 242, 1222, 1222, 1230, and 1274. That's a lot.
Council President,
That's
Well, I was gonna say, I heard it 1260.
Yes.
Yeah, I did too.
permission to be heard.
Yes, ma'am, please.
So I would request, based upon the information of Councilman Ashafi, that all 3 items be removed and that they be referred to legal, not sent back to the planning commission. If there are violations, then certainly we'd like to explore that. If you would provide a list of those particular ordinances, then we can review that.
Okay, thank you so much. So we have a.
I'm amenable to that, Council President.
So we have Mr. El Shafi made a motion to remove these items until the next meeting. Is there support on the floor?
So can,
We have support from Council Pro Tem. So we have a motion on the floor to approve tonight's agenda with one amended change, which is to remove item 7 and pass it on to legal to make sure that there are no violations of said ordinances. I can read them again if you guys want. 208.10, 208.11, 238, 242, 12, 20, 12, 2012, 1230, 1274. It's a lot of ordinances here, and I would rather us not deliberate this on the floor, I would rather get a legal review to make sure if in fact those are not an issue, then we can go with smooth sailing. If the parties are comfortable with that. I mean,
I can repeat the ordinances if y'all need.
No,
No,
okay,
no,
that's
that's good.
okay.
so I would like to see a complete package approved all at one time. I don't want no hiccups.
Okay.
I want to make sure that everything gets approved. So we have a motion on the floor by Councilman Ashafi to approve tonight's agenda by removing item 7 and sending it to legal for review to make sure that we are in alignment with the ordinance. We have support from Council Pro Tim Robinson. Madam Deputy Clerk, I'm sorry, do you have any additional questions on this? Madam Deputy Clerk, would you call the roll on approving the amended agenda?
Councilman Ashafi,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin,
Yes.
Councilwoman Manica,
Yes,
Council Pro Tem Robinson,
Yes.
Council President Thomas.
Yes, moving on to item 4, the approval of the proposed minutes in person and virtual regular meeting for September 18th, 2023. City Council, what's your pleasure here?
Can she renumber?
I'm sorry.
Can the clerk renumber since we are,
Yeah, Madam, can you renumber? So item 8 becomes item 7, item 10 becomes item 9.
Correct.
Thank you so much. Again, this is for item 4 now. This is the approval of proposed minutes for the in-person and virtual regular meeting on September 18th, 2023. City Council, what's your pleasure for this?
I move to approve the minutes, in-person and virtual regular meeting, September 18th, 2023.
We have a motion on the floor by Councilwoman Manica to approve the minutes for September 18th, 2023. Do we have support?
Support.
We have support from Councilwoman Martin. If there are no questions, Madam Deputy Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Ashafi,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin,
Yes.
Councilwoman Manica,
Yes,
Council Pro Tem Robinson,
Yes.
Council President Thomas.
Yes, motion carries. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the point in our meeting every week that we set aside for Mayor McDonald to speak to City Council and to citizens. This is the time in our meeting every week, for every meeting that we dedicate time set aside for the mayor to speak to address City Council and the citizens. She will not be joining us tonight, so we will move into citizens' participation. I am asking those citizens who would like to speak on an agenda item to queue up at the podium, and please take advantage of 2 minutes to talk about any item that is on the agenda. If all the members have a copy, and when I say members, I mean all the citizens. If you have a copy of the agenda, if you could please refer to that. And I will wait a minute.
they are removed, they can speak at the end.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you?
Evening.
So, we represent Aphrodisiac.
you could, I think you could take it
Yours
off.
now? Is that better?
You could take it off.
There you go.
Okay, perfect. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello, City Council, Mayor.
Good evening.
We represent Aphrodisiac, and we were on the agenda for this evening. And so we would like to find out what were the violations so that we can look into this and see where we need to make some adjustments.
Council President, may I?
Please.
Okay, so, actually, this is actually a good thing for you, you know what I'm saying? Because there's so much that's missing. I didn't want it to hit the floor and then not be approved, okay? You know what I'm saying? But there are a great deal, and I did cite the ordinance. In fact, one of them I gave to you, which is very important, okay? This particular ordinance is essential to be followed. There are rules and regulations that must be done. Whoever gave you the information in which they gave you, they left some things out, and I need you to look them ordinance over, and CED needs to look them ordinance over and make sure that the process is followed correctly, okay? There's so much that's missing. You know what I'm saying? You know, it was a good read. I enjoyed it immensely, but there was a lot that was missing, from your financial to your environmental study, to your zoning board, to your streets and utilities. I didn't see any blueprints for what you were going to put underground. Did you talk to Gleewood? Did you talk to Detroit about tying into their system for this particular project? All of them steps needs to be made before you come here, you know, or whoever brought you here ahead of schedule, they shouldn't have done that, okay? The issue is with them, it's not with us. We have a process that we have to follow. The ordinance is there. We can't change anything that we attempt to change gets vetoed. So we have to follow the ordinance that is in our presence. Okay, so that's what you need to follow from me, okay?
So.
Okay, so hold on a second. I wanted to make sure you had an opportunity to speak.
Yeah.
The rebuttals we don't typically do.
Right.
Since there was one
Okay.
person who was responsible for that decision, I wanted to make sure that you had an opportunity for that dialogue. Normally, we just give people 2 minutes. I am a developer. I'm not aware of anyone in your circumstances having to do environmentals on a vacant lot, ever.
Yeah.
In all of my years of experience, there's a lot there. So I think it's worthwhile to have it go back to CED and have a lawyer look at it, someone who's familiar with the development process. What I want to make sure that you guys do is that you're successful.
Yeah.
Because I know I actually can read it. I know what I saw. I know what a capital stack is. So I want to make sure that you guys are together. So I do thank you for your patience. I really do. And our city attorney or Mr. Hinton will be in contact with you as far as your next step. You should be at the next meeting based on the decision that was made. Unless there's something else that, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so unless there's something else that happens, which you will be in the know first, more than likely you should be at the next meeting. All
Okay,
right.
fair enough.
Thank you so much. Best of luck to you. Okay,
No.
Thank you.
okay. Do we have anybody else for comments about the agenda?
Is someone coming up now?
Yes, sir.
Hi, good evening. My name is Vince Tilford. I'm with Hannon Center in Detroit. We're agenda item 9A. I was told to come here tonight to speak on that. What this is, Hannon is nearly a 100-year-old organization. We've been supporting older adults for our entire history. What this is coming before you is a proposal to partner with the city of Highland Park. It does not require any money from Highland Park, but the goal is to support seniors in the community. What we do is connect them up to resources that they may not be aware of. Oftentimes, resources for seniors are fragmented. They have to go online. There's a number of different hoops they have to jump through. We have social workers and AmeriCorps members that will work with seniors to connect them to those resources. So that's what this program is about.
Thank you very much.
What was your last name?
Tilford, Tilford.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Do
Telford.
you need me to stay for the entire agenda?
If I know it's in the evening, so if you work the 9 and 5, you on 9 and 11. You on 11. There you go. So having spoken, I appreciate that
Okay.
we have some insight on that item. Thank you so much. Do we have any other citizens that would like to be heard? Okay, seeing no one come to the podium, I feel it's safe to be able to move on to the next session. We have been waiting for a presentation for Wayne Metro for us. Unfortunately, they were not able to make it tonight. This item will move to the next city council meeting. They have a presentation that will include a list of some of the services that they offer. So I'm really excited about them coming to a regular city council meeting and presenting to us. That'll be on the next meeting, for those of you who have taken a look at the agenda. So that moves us to item 5, table items. This is a resolution to approve the purchase agreement, development agreement, and sell the vacant commercial lots at 11811 Hamilton to Sepia Coffee Project LLC. For item 5, both of those items are dedicated to the same individual. So City Council, how shall we proceed on tabled item 5, Resolution A?
Move to bring back from the table.
So we have a motion on the floor from Councilman El Shafi. Mr. El Shafi, is that what we're gonna do one? We doing one at a time, or can we do both?
Sure.
This is for A. So this is to bring tabled item A back on the table to discuss a resolution to approve the purchase agreement, development agreement, and sell the vacant commercial lot at 11811 Hamilton to Sepia Coffee. Do we have support?
Support.
We have support from Councilwoman Manica.
We can bring them back up at the same time.
No, I asked, she said no. So Madam Deputy Clerk, would you call the roll on item A, 5A,
Councilman Ashafi,
Yes,
to remove from the table?
to remove from the table.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Martin,
Yes.
Councilwoman Manica,
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson,
Yes.
Council President Thomas.
Yes, item 5A is open for discussion, City Council. What is your pleasure on this item?
Council President, same thing as before. I would like to refer this one here back to legal. There's a great deal that needs to be done. And I would like to refer it back to legal and back to the CED.
So are you making a motion?
Yes, I'm making a motion to refer this back to legal.
Do we have support for that?
I support.
So hold on, I know, hold on a second. Mr. Al Shafi, you had an opportunity to remove this item.
No, sir. We had to bring it back from the table first.
Okay.
It was on the table. It had to come back from the table in order for us to remove.
You're right. I read the book. Yeah. And why is that again for this particular item?
It's the same as before, ordinance.
I read this one. There's no violation, Mr. Al Shafi.
2011.
Okay. So hold on, Mr. Don't, sir, please don't. I know, don't. I know you want to, but don't, please. Mr. Al Shafi, what you were saying?
Yeah, 208.10, 208.11.
Okay, so I'm gonna need you to explain that.
238.
I'm gonna need you to read in the ordinance specifically. I will open the ordinance. I'm gonna need you to read the CD directors here, the attorneys here. You're telling me that there's a violation. I'm gonna need you to read for each one of those ordinances. I'm gonna need you to specify why before I put this up for a vote. You're gonna have to read it with your own eyes, with your own mouth, and you're gonna have to show me for these 10 items that you're about to ask us to rip this development off the agenda.
I'm not
I'll wait.
asking to rip it off the agenda. I'm asking for it to be sent back to be fixed and corrected. There's
You
not
you
a
have to say
violation.
specifically what
Again,
needs to
hold
be
on a
fixed or
second, Council
corrected.
President.
If you
It's
would,
not a
please.
violation. Things are missing from this.
What are those
particular
things,
development.
please, sir?
Okay, so first and foremost, 208, and I'll read it here for you.
Okay. I'll wait.
Okay, it says policies for sale of vacant lots.
Mhm.
Whereas the city vacant lots are no longer required for corporate or public purposes,
Mhm.
except any parks or part thereof, except where a park is no longer required under the official master plan. Such vacant lots may be sold or leased upon affirmation of votes of 4 or more members.
Yes, sir, but you're not
telling.
telling me what he's doing, what is wrong. You're reading the ordinance. You're not telling me what is wrong.
You just asked me to read the ordinance.
I asked you to read specifically the part that's wrong,
Okay.
that this, with
So
this gentleman's
basically-
development.
So basically, what is missing here, and I'm gonna sum it up for you.
No, you
Okay?
can't sum it up. You have to read the legal document. You
Sir.
cannot summarize.
Okay, then
You
allow
have to
me
read the
finish.
legal wording that specifies what the problem is.
If you allow me to finish reading the ordinance, I can help you out.
You gonna read the whole ordinance? I'll wait.
Back to the ordinance. Okay.
You can read the
Says-
whole thing. I grade papers all day long. This is fine. Read it out loud. I got patience. You gonna have to show me where this
Okay.
man, it did
So
something wrong.
now, since we have that attitude, okay,
No,
fine.
no, sir. I
Let's
really
vote.
want to hear it. I really want to hear it.
Let's
I
vote.
really want to hear it.
Okay. I clearly stated.
Okay, so we have a vote on the floor.
Mhm.
We have a motion on the floor
Let's
from
vote.
Councilman Al Shafi to remove this item and send it back. Mr. Al Shafi contends that there are violations in this packet that came to us twice. This is the second time it came to us. And he has support on the floor from Council Pro Tem Robinson to send this Highland Park development back again. Would you please call the roll, ma'am?
No,
Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Manica, you have comments? Forgive me. Ms. Manica, please, go ahead.
I don't think we can open this for vote. I need to know why we're voting. I mean, what are we voting for? I heard the ordinance, but I still don't know what's wrong.
That's
So, or
what was my
either
point.
Ms. Robinson or Mr. Shafi, please, one of you tell me what we're voting on, besides the fact that it's something wrong.
They're voting to remove it. Yes, I'm sorry. It's not my job. It's their job to explain it to
I
you.
got it.
Forgive me.
I got it.
You done?
Yes,
So first and foremost, this particular development is being built from the ground up. It requires, by it being built from the ground up, it requires a development plan, which it does not have here. Secondly, it requires to go through zoning before it comes to us. It requires to go through street and utilities and public service codes. It is also required to go through traffic code as well. None of these things have been met.
None of those things occur until a development is approved by city council.
When you're building from the ground up, a development plan is required. There are no specs in this particular proposal for what's going underground from his engineer.
That is incorrect, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
That is
Ask me
incorrect.
a question. There are no specs for what's going underground. I don't see where they talked to Gliwa. I don't see where they talked to Detroit to get a clarity as to what they're going to be doing. None of this should even be here. This should have all been handled
Okay.
at the planning commission by Ty Hinton and the planning commission. This should not have come before us until it was completely ready. There's nothing he's done on his part. There are missing pieces of information. I don't see any financial records. I don't see anything. I see nothing.
Okay, we got 3 engineers sitting in the corner. Talk about a bonus. Engineers, could you please tell me what the
That's
gentleman has
another
asked?
thing. Hold on
We
a
have
second.
3 engineers sitting in the corner.
That's another thing.
Council President,
According to ordinance 208, this should have been also submitted to our city engineers, and they should have gave us a preliminary overview of what was to happen before this even got here, which did not happen, according to 208.10, 208.11. This should have been submitted to our city engineers as well.
Okay,
That's something that didn't happen.
So since he was responding to my question,
okay.
so what you would like to happen is for all this to come back and for each one of those departments to add to this packet those specific details to how it's going to be built, what they need to put in the ground in regards to electric, DTE. Is that what you're kind of saying? Is that
Yes.
what you're asking for?
So to sum it up, what I'm simply saying is ordinance 208.1 through 14, ordinance 238, ordinance 242, ordinance
Pardon.
1220,
No.
ordinance
He
1222,
still hasn't read the.
Pardon.
1226,
Point of order.
1230,
Point of order,
the lady-
1232,
Ms. Manica actually has the floor,
Point
sir.
of order here.
Ms. Manica actually has
So
the
what
floor.
needs to be done here?
So you're not, for me, I can't speak for anyone else. We can keep reading this over and over. But in order to make it right, or in order to fix that, what exactly do you
Specifically.
want to see? Do you want to see the book of this whole development plan? Do you want Mr. Hinton to bring the development plan up? Do you want the engineers to tell you that he needs to put 5 pipes in the bottom and 3 lines? What are you asking them to show you? Because we have not.
I'm asking that the ordinance and the proper procedures be followed.
So you tell me, I guess I'm asking you to tell me how you're interpreting that.
Information is missing.
Okay. The city of Detroit is 140 square
So
miles
what is
and
that?
it's surrounding us, and that doesn't happen in Detroit
Hold
or
on,
Hamtramck or
President.
Ferndale or Royal Oak or Ann
Y'all
Arbor.
want to vote on it, go right ahead.
No. I just
Let's do
want
that.
to be clear. I'm
Okay.
not, I just want to be clear
Let's move to
because
the
you
vote,
just keep
please.
telling me that we're voting on the ordinance and we've read it 3 times. We've got all the ordinance that you're citing, but when I ask you specifically what's missing, that you say that's missing from this ordinance, you haven't said to me that they're missing DTE telling me that this man needs 5 lines.
And let's be clear, this is a purchase agreement. He can't do any of that stuff unless he owns the property.
All of this stuff must be done before he gets. here.
That is ridiculous.
Not-
And you know nothing about development. Let's move to the vote. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a, I'm sorry, Ms. Martin, if you would.
Ms.
You know
Martin,
what?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Martin, if you would.
Hold on. Mr. Shafi, I have a question. Okay, so I'm looking at ordinance 20811. And you're saying that just in 20811, just in section 2811A, that's where the violation on that alone is. I thought I heard a cell phone. Is that my understanding? Or am I not understanding that right?
You are somewhat
I thought you
correct.
said
Ms.
10,
Martin.
because 10.
Or is it the whole ordinance?
The entire ordinance needs to be followed. There's a process here that needs to be followed, that must be done before they come before us for a vote. That process has not been met here.
So what's the first thing in the process?
You tell me, Ms. Hammond.
No.
I'm
no,
asking.
No, that's not how we do it.
No,
No,
no, sir.
sit down, please.
Okay, so right here, it even talks about auctions. The city shall auction residential homes owned by the city on a quarterly basis. That doesn't pertain to this because it wasn't an auction, correct?
No, it was
All
not.
right, this ordinance, Ms. Martin, not part of it.
Okay,
All of
so,
it needs to be read.
okay.
So legacy, point of
Now,
order, I move to vote.
Now,
That's okay.
understand
The
this.
chair will call for the
understand
vote.
this.
Madam
If we
Deputy
vote-
Clerk, we have a
if we
motion on the
vote-
floor.
Mr.
Mr. El Shafi has asked that this item be removed.
All I'm saying
He
is,
has support
if you vote
from
on this, Council
Council Pro
President,
Tem.
you need a 4 vote to get it passed,
No,
according
sir.
to this ordinance. Yes, sir. You need a 4 vote to get this passed.
Oh, I see. So you're gonna hold these people hostage?
No, not holding anybody hostage. I'm saying instead of voting on it, why not send it back and let the problems be fixed according to the ordinance?
Okay, to
And
your
we'll all
point,
be
the
happy.
problems that you're talking about, sir, in the real world of development don't exist.
Okay, all right. Well, go ahead and vote on it then.
So what you're saying is you're willing to obstruct the
Go ahead and
process
vote
for
on
this
it, Council
developer.
President. I'm not saying anything.
I have a question.
What you're saying doesn't exist in the world of development.
Okay, so where it says policy read the purchase sale, the read, does it mean that it's a repurchase?
No, it
No,
just means
regarding.
is regarding.
Regarding.
Okay.
It's a
got it,
legal jargon for regarding.
Got it.
Council
Okay.
President,
Yes, ma'am.
permission to be heard.
Yes, ma'am. Would you please?
Okay, all this back and forth, Councilman Shafi, it certainly would have been nice this item was tabled. And it would have been nice had you reached out to the legal department to get some of those questions answered prior to presenting those at the meeting. I did have an opportunity to talk to you on Thursday, and you said you had no questions or you don't get your questions answered, but there was an opportunity for you to inquire or make the inquiry earlier than at the meeting. It's not fair to keep bringing these items back. However, if there are concerns, and certainly we don't want to run into any problems, this item was reviewed by Gianmarco Mullins, George Contis. However, if there's some concerns, and he is right, we would need a vote of 4. It may not survive as opposed to it being voted down. Maybe the right thing to do is to refer to legal to get some of those questions answered, whether we answer in his favor or not. Let's get the questions answered. But in the future, it certainly would help if before the meeting, if you have questions, to not necessarily bring them out at the meeting. And that goes to all of you. We've made ourselves available for questions. And so, to bring them out at the meeting when you've had an opportunity prior to that time to get those answered, we could have just removed the items and addressed it in a different manner. We don't need everybody arguing over the same thing. So my suggestion would be refer it to legal and not necessarily to bring them back at the next meeting because we have this gentleman and we have the prior.
Yes, I know. All the Highland
The
Park
prior
developments
matter.
get scuttled.
But let's get it right. Let's
That's the
get his
plan.
questions answered, whether it's favorable or
The
unfavorable.
government at work. Scuttle all the Highland Parkers.
Point of order.
Yes, ma'am. So what are we doing? We got a
Move to
vote on the
vote.
floor.
Yeah, move to vote. As long as we are, if I'm correct, the vote is to
Remove these
remove
items.
it and send it to legal. Is that correct, Mr. Shafi?
I have spoken already, ma'am.
I'm just asking, I'm trying to get the
We're
vote
trying to vote.
started.
You want to vote, so
So
it would be a good idea
is
that we
it
make sure.
That is what I said.
Okay, so we're voting to remove it and to send it to legal.
We have a motion on the floor from Councilman El Shafi.
We need 4 to
Supported.
do that?
I'm sorry?
We need 4 to do that?
No, we don't. We just
Not for
need
the
3 to,
removal,
Okay.
just
whoever
for
wants
the-
to do this.
All right, got it. Come on. I'm ready.
Okay, that's the vote. The vote is for item A. To remove it and send it back to legal. Madam Deputy Clerk?
Councilman Shafi,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin,
Yes.
Councilwoman Manica,
Yes,
Council Pro Tem Robinson,
Yes.
Council President Thomas.
No. Next item. Item 5B, resolution to approve the purchase agreement, development agreement to sell the vacant commercial lot at 11817 Hamilton to Sepia Coffee Project LLC. City Council, what's your pleasure?
Move to bring back from the table.
We have a motion on the floor to bring this item back.
support.
We have a motion from Councilman El Shafi, support from Councilwoman Manica to bring item 5B back on the table. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Councilman Ashafi?
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin?
Yes.
Councilwoman Manica?
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson?
Yes.
Council President Thomas?
No. Item is on the floor. City Council, what's your pleasure on tabled item B, resolution to approve the purchase agreement, development agreement, and sell the vacant commercial lot at 11817 Hamilton to Sepia Coffee Project LLC?
Same as before.
Don't say same as before, sir. Please
I'll-
follow the
if you
official
allow me to
procedure.
Finish my statement, sir. Same as before, Council President, I would like to have this item removed and sent back.
Mr. El Shafi has made a motion to remove this item and send it back to legal. Is there support?
I support.
We have support from Council Pro Tem Robinson. Unless we have questions, let's take the roll. Madam Deputy Clerk, would you?
Councilman Ashafi?
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin?
Yes.
Councilwoman Manica?
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson?
Yes.
Council President Thomas?
To undermine a developer from the city of Highland Park in the city of Highland Park? No. Thank you very much. Jesus, help us all. Item 6 under administration. The next item is a resolution to appoint Bishop Victor Thomas to the Tax Increment Financing Authority Board. City Council, what is your pleasure? On item 6.
I move to approve the appointment of Bishop Victor Ricardo Thomas to the Tax Increment Financing Authority Board.
Do we have support?
Support with discussion.
We have support from Councilman El Shafi with discussion. Mr. El Shafi, the floor is yours.
How many members are currently on this board?
6.
There are
Oh, I'm
6.
sorry. Permission to be heard.
I'm sorry. Yes, Ms. Burton, please, would you be heard?
6.
We have
We had
6.
Mr. Brown, Derek Brown, resigned.
Mr.
How
Brown
many of
resigned, so
them-
we have 6 members.
Ms. Burton, how many of them are Highland Park residents?
I'm not certain. I think 2 maybe. Oh, that are Highland Park residents or
Yeah.
non-residents?
That are, he's asking
That are
are.
Highland Park residents. Out of the 6, how many of them are Highland Park residents?
4 or 5. I'm not certain of, at least 4 of them are though.
Ms. Burton, is there any requirement on residency for Tifa?
Okay, all right. From a state standpoint, Tifa was enacted by the state of Michigan in 1984. The actual act itself does not have a residency requirement. Our charter indicates that, and I believe that's in section 4-2, and that is under eligibility for city office. And it does say not more than one non-resident of the city may be appointed as a member of any city board or commission established by this charter or by ordinance. It was not established by a charter. It wasn't established by ordinance. It was established by a state act. The board itself was established by resolution. However, the second prong of that indicates one or more non-residents may be appointed as members of any board or commission established by resolution of the city council. And I believe the last resolution was in fact passed. So.
Okay, thank you very much. So do you have your discussion item addressed? I repeat, have you had your discussion item addressed, sir?
Good to go, Council President.
Okay, can we take the vote on item 6, administration resolution? I'm sorry, ladies, I didn't ask you if you had any questions. Forgive me for that. Any questions from other members of council?
No.
Hearing none. Madam Deputy Clerk, if you would take the roll on item 6 under administration resolution to appoint Bishop Victor Thomas to the Tax Increment Financing Authority.
Councilman Ashafi?
No.
Councilwoman Martin?
Yes.
Councilwoman Manica?
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson?
No.
Council President Thomas?
Yes, thank you. Motion carries. Moving on to item 7 under fire. Yes, Ms. Manica.
I'll make the motion for a 5-minute recess, please.
We have a motion on the floor for a 5-minute recess. All those in favor?
Aye.
By a vote of aye. Can I hear the ayes again?
Aye.
Aye. We have at least 3. 5-minute recess.
Thank you.
It's funny, you know that, right? How many bags can you open? I got enough granola bars too. I do too. They soft. Jesus. Ain't have my bag. Get my bag back. Get my bag back. No. Ooh, Jesus, Jesus. I feel like a midget.
It's going well. I would say. That's all the yeah, I saw the name.
You got peach over there?
Yeah.
Was that orange? Thanks, that orange. Thank you.
So we on fire? Recreation?
Thank you.
It's 7:45. We will call the meeting back to order. We are on item number 7 under fire. This is a resolution to approve the purchase of one fire vehicle from LaFontaine GMC to be funded through the current available funds from the 2023-2024 fire budget. This is a resolution to approve the purchase of one fire vehicle from LaFontaine GMC to be funded through the current available funds from the 2023-2024 fire budget. City Council, how would you like to proceed on item 7?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion on the floor from Councilman Al Shafi to approve item 7. Do we have support? This is
Support.
item 7.
Support.
Support from Councilwoman Manica. Do we have any questions? Madam Deputy Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Ashafi,
Absolutely.
Councilwoman Martin,
Yes.
Councilwoman Manica,
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson,
Yes.
Council President Thomas.
Yes, ma'am. Moving on to item 9 under recreation. Under item 9A, this is the resolution. I'm sorry, 8A, because we did go up. I got my Roman numerals all jacked up here. This is item 8A under recreation. Item A is a resolution reviewing and approving the 2023-2024 Hannah Center My Neighborhood Connections AmeriCorps Program host site memorandum of agreement. This is a MOU. I'm sorry, it's a memorandum of agreement. To that item, Ms. Hodges,
Hello,
how are you?
good evening, councilmen and councilwomen. My name is Bernadette Hudgens and I bring,
Hold on a second, ma'am. We don't have a motion on the floor yet.
oh, I'm sorry.
So you can stay there though. I'm waiting for some action on item 8A. This is a resolution reviewing and approving the 2023 Hannah Center My Neighborhood Connections with AmeriCorps Program Host Site Memorandum of Agreement. City Council, what is your pleasure on 8A?
I make a motion to approve the resolution reviewing and approving Hannah Center, My Neighborhood Connections, AmeriCorps Program Host Site Memorandum of Agreement with discussion.
We have a motion on the floor for the approval of item A. Do we have support?
I support.
We have support from Council Pro Tem Robinson. The item is on the floor, ma'am, if you would.
Okay. Good evening, councilmen and councilwomen. My name is Bernadette Hudgens. I am the senior coordinator for the city. And I reached out. One of the goals for me is focusing on programming and activities for our older adults in our community. And I have been connecting with Hannah Center, and they have a great program with AmeriCorps where they provide programming and services for older adults. One of the things I will tell you, I am not a social worker. My specialty is programming and doing activities, but as you all see, every single month since I joined this team, that I have had at least 8 activities every month. Lots of activities to engage with our older adults, and I need some help. I have an assistant, but her focus is on the DAAA friendly reassurance grant. So mainly what she does is calls the seniors, but there's still some assistance that would help me from a programming standpoint. We have seniors that call us on a frequent basis asking us for things. And usually what we have to do is say, good question. And then we go and try to find the answers. Having this partnership with the Hannah Center will provide us with a resource. Again, I think it's clear to know they will not be a City of Highland Park employee. This is an agreement. If we find that this does not work out, we can move on and they can do the same. What this will provide me is someone that will sit at the rec. They will be under my supervision to make sure that they're doing the things that we want them to do. And again, if you see for the agreement, it's essentially program. A lot of the things that I already do, they will be supporting.
Will they do any for you? In other words, so maybe you can't be at that event, but they'll still do that event for you?
Honestly, I really feel like if there's most of the programming, I want to be there. They would mostly be my hands to help me. Like, for example, since I joined the team, I've had about 4 health fairs. I would like to continue doing health fairs, but it's tough to do those kind of health fairs and do other programming as well for our seniors. Right. So, yes, so they would do those kinds of things, but I really want to be there because I want to make sure that the things that we commit to our seniors that we're really going to follow through, and they're more so just hands for us.
Additional questions, Ms. Martin, please.
Yeah, you said that this person or the group of people?
Just one, and it would be a person, it would be a AmeriCorps volunteer.
And they're only going to be sitting at the rec center?
They'll be at the rec center, yes.
And so you will be at the buildings?
They'll be over there, and most of the activities, as we all know, we do most of our activities at the rec center. Okay. So they would be sitting over there, and I would be managing and directing to make sure that they were following through on the things that we wanted them to do.
So would this person just for a senior that walks in, or?
They would have the phone number and they would be able to call in, and because what happens is sometimes we have seniors that will call us and say, you know what, I need food and I don't know what to do. And so usually what we'll do is we'll make a phone call. We'll try to get some resources over to them. What they would do is they would answer that phone call. Now, again, we still want people to call us because that's why I said we'll be managing them. So at the end of the day, if they have a question from programming, an event, those kinds of things that we're running, they will call our city office because we would make sure that we're recording who signed up because we provide transportation for all of our events. So we want to make sure that we have the proper names and all of that to send over to SMART. So really what they'll be doing is being our hands that would sit over at the rec.
And are we paying for this?
No, that is the great thing about AmeriCorps. We do not have to do any payment. And so that is a volunteer organization who, what they do is they recruit. If you may have noticed, a lot of nonprofits have AmeriCorps people that work for them, or they get a stipend. It's very small stipend. I essentially say they're volunteering, but they do get stipend and they get insurance. But that's done by AmeriCorps. We don't pay for any of that.
Madam Pro Tem?
And who is this AmeriCorps member?
We don't have first we have to get the agreement and identify that we are interested in doing it, and then we'll work with them to help identify the person.
Mr. Al-Shafi?
Ms. Bernadette,
Yes, sir.
what is the liability to the city for this particular memorandum understanding? You mentioned that if we were unhappy, unsatisfied with it, then what would be the process for us to remove something like that?
Well, let's go in here. I want to say, I believe that it states that we can, I want to say it was 30 days that we can say this isn't working out for us. Let's see. Requirements. And then you also will notice that there is corrective action. So if we see that there's an issue, we'll be making sure that they're being held accountable. So you can't just be willy-nilly. And if you've ever engaged with me, you know I work. So my expectations would be if someone that comes into this role would see it as a role where they're going to execute.
Okay. Can you read to us section 5 here under prohibited activities so that the residents can know?
Okay, sure. Prohibited, so you want to read all of them?
Yes, please.
Okay. So prohibited activities while charging time to the MNC AmeriCorps program, accumulating service and training hours, otherwise performing activities supported by the AmeriCorps program or AmeriCorps members and volunteers recruited by members may not engage in the following activities: attempting to influence legislation, organizing or engaging in protests, petitions, boycotts, strikes, assisting or promoting or deteriorating union organizations, impairing existing contracts for services or collective bargaining agreements, engaging in partisan political activities or other activities designed to influence the outcome of an election to any public office, participating in or endorsing events or activities that are likely to include advocacy or against political parties, political platforms, political candidates, proposed legislation, and elected officials. Number 7, engaging in religious instruction, conducting worship services, providing instructions as a part of the programming, including mandatory religious instruction or worship, constructing or operating facilities devoted to religious instruction or worship, maintaining facilities primarily or inherently devoted to religious instruction or worship, or engaging in any form of religious molestation. Number 8, providing a direct benefit to a business for profit, a labor union, a partisan political organization, a nonprofit entity that fails to comply with restrictions contained in the 501c3 of the Internal Revenue Code of 1986 related to engaging in political activities or substantial amount of lobbying, except that nothing in these provisions shall be construed to provide participants from engaging in advocacy activities undertaking at their own initiative. An organization engaged in religious activities as described above, number 7, unless AmeriCorps assistance is used to support those religious activities. Conducting voter registration drive or using AmeriCorps funds to conduct a voter registration, providing abortion services or referrals or for receipt of such services. Whew. Okay, I got number 11. Other such activities as AmeriCorps or MCSC may prohibit. In addition to the above activities, the below activities are additional prohibited.
Okay, so.
You want me to still go?
No.
Because it's like 2 more paragraphs.
So E is kind of a contradiction with number 7. It says here, an organization engaging in religious activities as described above in number 7, unless AmeriCorps assistance is not used to support those religious activities.
Well, just so you know, if you have seen any of the activities that I have, and that we don't do religious activities. If people want to go to church, they can go to church. We don't ever want to intermingle that piece. So we haven't done any church type services. So I would not expect that they would do that either.
got a quick question for you. So say that the 30 days lapse with no problems, and then one of these rules are violated. What is the city's out for that?
We still have 30 days throughout this entire year, as the contract states, to decide we don't want to do this. So it doesn't mean 30 days from today or when it starts. It's 30 days throughout that year period. Yeah. Because our goal is really to create programming and have additional support for our seniors. And as you all know, I'm trying my very best, but I don't know if I can keep it up going so hard. So I really need some help to keep doing the programming for our older adults. And they've been having fun. I mean, we went to the Princess. We had our Generation Fit Fest. We had over 40 seniors. They came and worked out, and we're having a lot of fun. So we want to keep up those activities.
Do you have any additional questions? Madam Deputy Clerk, would you call the roll on item 8A? This is a resolution to approve the 2023-2024 Hannah Center, My Neighborhood Connections AmeriCorps Program Host Site Memorandum. This was brought on the floor, made a motion by Councilwoman Manica, supported by Councilwoman Robinson. Would you please take the vote?
Councilman Ashafi,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin,
Yes.
Councilwoman Manica,
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson,
Yes.
Council President Thomas.
Yes, thank you very much. Next item 8B, resolution to approve, thank you very much, ma'am. Resolution to approve Say Detroit as an adopted park partner for Ivis Field and Casey Park. City Council, how would you like to proceed on item 8B?
I want to make a resolution to approve Say Detroit as an adopted partner for Ives Field and Casey Park.
You have a motion on the floor to approve item 8B, the resolution to approve Say Detroit as an adopted park partner. We have support.
I have a question.
We have support.
Yes.
We have support from Councilwoman Manica. Madam Pro Tem, your question?
Where's Ives Field?
Who's here to represent this?
Sue is here.
There are a lot of names on things that are not standing there. So if you would, please, ma'am, help her out.
Ives Field is Reggie McKenzie Field. That is that's the name of the entire complex field. It's our understanding that Reggie McKenzie would have been the football portion of the field.
So he's still going to be the football portion of the field.
Yes.
The historical name
Yes.
is Ives Park, correct?
Correct.
That
And that is what is on the deed is Ives.
Right.
And there is a copy of the deed. We do have a copy of the deed.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Do we have any additional questions? For item 8B,
The performance raiser, is that the stage?
That's under C.
Did I miss it?
that's the next one, ma'am.
That's the next.
That's item C.
Oh.
So
No,
for
on
item
here.
B,
So what is a performance raiser?
that is for item 8C, resolution to accept the gift of an outdoor stage. That's the performance raiser. So that's for item C.
It's on this one too.
Is it on both? Okay.
Oh, they got my vote. Okay.
Well, madam, would you please explain to her what a performance riser is?
Yes. We've been working very closely with Say Detroit. They have a clinic over on Glendale. They were very instrumental, along with Councilwoman Robinson, to getting the vaccines into the city of Highland Park, since we did not have a major pharmacy in the city. They became the authorizers, and the city worked with them to make Ernest T. Ford the actual location for vaccines. They have since continued to provide programming with us. They do Wellness Wednesdays. They do diabetes prevention. They are at our resource fairs, and they're really committed to doing things in the city of Highland Park. And through their studies, they have found that social isolation is really causing havoc on a lot of the people in our community. Everyone is not an athlete. Everyone is not going to go out and play basketball, do walking. But when you speak of recreation, you speak of mental health, social health, emotional health. So isolation is a key to that. What they are doing is they're building a stage behind the rec center. It's 24 feet long, 18 feet wide, 18 inches off the ground, where we could do small performances. We can have poetry reading. We can have children go out there and do small plays. We can have Devlon come and play the flute. Just an area where the citizens come out and they can greet each other. We know that we do have some COVID coming back. So again, this would be an outdoor location where people can still get out, be able to greet each other and just have a good time.
Okay, thank you. Someone, did she answer your question for you, Ms. Manica?
Yes, I have another one.
Go ahead. You stay on the floor.
Are we
Madam Pro Tem, I see
responsible
you.
for maintaining?
Yes, we are, but it is a very simple stage. And we are continuing to work with our Adopt a Park program. We have a potential partner, CAD, the Corporation for Artistic Development, that is looking to adapt that particular area behind the rec center, where they would assist with programming and maintaining that area. And the stage will have a ramp, so it will be ADA accessible.
You all set, ma'am?
Yes.
Madam Pro Tem?
Behind as in by the priority one exercise thing, or behind as in where?
I don't know if you're familiar with where the flower boxes were, where we had our garden.
Mhm.
It's gonna be right there by the short wall.
Yeah.
So the short wall will be the backdrop.
Any additional questions? Madam Deputy Clerk, for item B, resolution to approve the State of Troy as an Adopt a Park partner for Ivers Field and Casey Park. The motion is on the floor by Councilwoman Martin, supported by Councilwoman Manica. Would you please call the roll?
Councilman Ashafi,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin,
Yes.
Councilwoman Manica,
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson,
Yes.
Council President Thomas,
Yes, thank you very much. Motion carries. For the last item, item 8C under Recreation, this is a resolution to accept the gift of the outdoor stage aforementioned by the Recreation Coordinator from Say Detroit. City Council, how would you like to proceed on item 8C?
I move to accept the resolution to accept gift of outdoor stage for Say Detroit, from Say Detroit.
We have a motion on the floor from Councilwoman Manica to accept the gift. to
Support.
approve. So we have support from Councilwoman Martin. So the motion on the floor is a resolution to accept the gift of an outdoor stage from Say Detroit. Motion was made by Councilwoman Manica, supported by Councilwoman Martin. Are there questions? Hearing none, Madam, if you would call the roll for item 8C.
Councilman Ashafi,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin,
Yes.
Councilwoman Manica,
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson,
Yes.
Council President Thomas.
Yes, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the point of City Council meeting for every week that we set aside for citizens' participation. It says a citizen may speak for no more than 2 minutes pertaining to any subject. I will set my timer. If there's anyone who would like to speak, if you would please queue up at the podium and I will entertain your comment. I will set aside 2 minutes for you to make those comments. Just 1 second, sir. All right, sir, would you please state your name?
Yes, my name is Martel Mason. I
Thank you,
am, can you hear me? I'm sorry.
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Martel Mason. I am the CEO and founder for Sepia Coffee Project. I'm very passionate with what I do, not only with my job, but being back in Highland Park and just seeing the potential in our city. And I'm getting a bit confused on why the process to purchase land from the city is now being drawn out to the extent that it has. In the previous council meeting, the concern was the price for the land. I believe you have those documentations which show that it was $1,500 for both plots of the land. That was the concern the last council meeting. Now we have a multitude of ordinances that we are now in violation of. And I just don't understand where it's coming from. So there was a concern of what are our financials? Those documents should be in the pitch deck that should be in your file, in addition to our renderings and design schematics from our architect. E&D Studio is based in Corktown. We have already invested $13,000 into design work. All of the materials that we need in order to purchase the land is there. But I just want to give you a bit of background on who we are and what we do. We're a roastery. We roast coffee for wholesale accounts. We have over 25 wholesale accounts in Metro Detroit, and we have 3 on the East Coast. Plum Market, Western Market, we're working with Westbourne. We are bringing in this year $90,000 in revenue. If we're able to expand and build our roastery and coffee shop, we're projected to do $700,000 next year in revenue. This money can be coming to the city. I started this business 18 months ago with my background and experience. This year, we were top 4 finalists in the Hatch Detroit contest for $100,000. That's with Techtown, Hatch Detroit, and Comerica Bank. We did not win the $100,000, but it opened up a door for us to get financing from other people. We know that it's a struggle here in Highland Park. There are no business grants for Highland Parkers. Hatch is the only grant opportunity that's available. Motor City Match, Detroit Means Business, Prosperous Detroit, we do not qualify. So the fact that I was able to get to top 4 for Hatch, promoting Highland Park, shows something. After we lost, what we did was we decided to go to the community. We are now doing a campaign run on wefunder.com. Just since August, we have raised $80,000 from the community in order to build out this roasting facility. In addition to that, offline, we have about $150,000 that we're securing with other investors. This is money that is going to be invested into the city. I could have done this outside. Everyone, even during Hatch Detroit, was telling me, why aren't you doing it in Detroit? Stay in the North End. Our roastery was just down the street on John R. Between Kenilworth and Westminster. We could have stayed over in Oakland. There's tons of land on Oakland. But I wanted to come back to Highland Park. So I just need to understand that the investments that I'm making, I'm from the hood. I'm from here. We don't have a lot of money to waste. My family has come on board with me with this, and I'm just trying to understand, are we making the right investments right now? And if we're not, what do we need to do in order to make sure that we come back to the table with everything that you need in order to make this happen? Because if not, I may have to just look at other opportunities. And I do not want to leave my people because they have all shown love and support, even if not financial. The fact that they come to pop-up events and block parties, just showing their love and support, that lets me know that I'm moving in the right direction. But I need council, I need this administration, and I need the city on board with what we're trying to do.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
All right, during council affairs, ma'am. Thank you very much, sir.
You can't get an answer?
He went over his 2 minutes, ma'am. He can get an answer during council affairs.
He said that they can answer during
During council affairs, yes.
I got you. Now the answer,
Yes. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You like to be heard, ma'am?
If you don't mind.
I work here. I don't mind.
My name is Jamil Edwards. I live in Highland Park, and I want to talk about the garbage day. Is it Friday? Is it Saturday? Do they supposed to come and get it on Friday and then half of it on Saturday? And who is policing them? The garbage is left in the streets. Your garbage, I live on East Grand between John R. and Hamilton and I'm sorry, John R. and Oakland. It's been a long day. I just want to know who is responsible for the garbage and can we get somebody else if they can't do the job?
That's right.
Thank you so much. Is there anybody else that would like to be heard?
Isn't anything specific? I just want to know where the senior citizens can get the information for these programs that they're having, because a lot of people don't know about the things that she's talking about. And there are a lot of senior citizens, if they know about these events and different things that are going on, they would participate. So I'd like to know, is there any way they can get the information out? Because in my neighborhood, we don't get no information on nothing. That's one reason I come to the city council meeting, to let them know of things that's going on, because we don't get no information on anything that's going on in the city.
See that sheet, the calendar is in there. Yeah, that's the calendar. I'm talking about the events that they give for the senior citizens, and they're not all in here.
I can see you, let's connect after the meeting and I'll make sure I get you set up on your phone and you'll get it right.
Okay,
Right to.
that's all I'm saying. I just
Thank you very much. Do we have anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, council.
Good evening.
I'm standing up here on behalf of the young man with the coffee who wants to open up a coffee shop. It would be nice to see new development in Highland Park. Just this past Sunday, I like to get up on Sundays and go to a cafe, have a cup of coffee, eat a bagel, just relax, read a book. I mean, it would be nice to have something like that here in Highland Park. I mean, I'm tired of spending my money outside my city. It would be nice to be able to spend my money in the city, and especially to a Black-owned business. I go out of my way to support Black businesses. But you know, we get caught up in all this, that, and I mean, help a brother out. I mean, I'm not saying break any rules, but open up your eyes. Don't slow down progress. That's all I'm asking. Think about it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Wooten, please. Ms. Grace.
Hi, everybody.
Hello,
Good
good evening.
I just have two things that I want to talk about today. The first thing is Scipia and the fact that he wants to purchase land in the city to build his business. And, you know, I don't know, you know, you got to explain it to me too, why a person would have to have different reports from engineering in order to purchase land, you know, not build, I mean, purchase it in order to get started. The other thing is, you know, I have to talk about going to Lansing. Hey, we have 2 buses and our buses are filled. Highland Parkers have stepped up. You know, we're on the way. We're getting on that bus and we're going to be talking to legislators and we're going to have a rally. You know, our senators are our senator is on board and also our representative will be there. And I am so excited and I am so proud of our city. You know, I am so proud. You know, we had 2 town meetings and I said we were going to Lansing. And so we're finally, you know, on board going to Lansing. So I just want to thank everybody in the community who signed up to talk to legislators and who are going to be on that bus to support Highland Park.
Tell us again the date. Tell us again, Ms. Gracie, the date again is on
October 12th.
October 12th.
October 12th, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we have people on the bus and we also have people who are driving. We also have supporters who are coming from Flint and Benton Harbor. You know, we are, we're just excited to do this, you know, and hopefully, you know, everybody, you know, can, you know, join us, you know, our city officials can join us too. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, anybody else like to be heard?
Good evening, council. Good evening, Highland Park.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
My name is Juan Shannon, longtime resident of Highland Park. I live on Tuxedo Street and run a development on East Buena Vista. I was trying to chime in online, but for some reason I couldn't get onto the platform to ask my questions. And this is in regards to a business by a Highland Parker trying to open up in Highland Park. I got a little experience in that. I'm trying to understand. It seems to me that there is more to bringing the sepia project to Hamilton than what's happening with sepia project. And I'm really trying to understand what is going on with that. Martell Mason and his family have been in Highland Park for years, decades, as a matter of fact. I know this because he's my cousin. And his mother used to live right across the street from me, where my father and my mother owned several properties in Highland Park. So just like me, Martell could spend that money anywhere. Anywhere. His product is exceptional. He wants to be home the same way I wanted to be home, because I could have spent my money somewhere else. I don't understand what is going on and what is the holdup on selling a piece of property that we have on the books to go for a certain amount of money. Is it, something with our CED director? Is it something between each other? Is it something with the mayor? What is it that is stopping a person from buying a piece of property in Highland Park to bring a much desired business to Highland Park? A Highland Parker, made in Highland Park, roasted in Highland Park. I'm not going to take up past the 2 minutes, but I'm really confused as to what is going on.
Mhm. Thank you, sir. Do you have anybody else? Okay, so let's move into council. This is council affairs, ladies and gentlemen. Don't have any popcorn, but y'all enjoy. Councilman from the 3rd District, Mr. Al-Shafi, council affairs is yours.
Please forgive me, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry about it. Okay. So a little context here for you. When the memes group came to the city and they built that monstrosity sitting over there on Hamilton, does anybody know the process that they went to put that monstrosity up over there? It took them 5 years to get site control. And that's probably because they were also buying Detroit city land as well too. But there is a process here, ladies and gentlemen. The ordinances in which I cited, these are the rules. These rules have been set and made by the previous council. I don't know why the planning commission is ignoring the rules and telling people things that are untrue. I'll tell you, like when he said that at the planning commission that we changed the rules. He said the new council is operating differently. We are not operating differently. The rules are set. And those rules require that you follow a specific process according to this charter. I'm not against any development here. Every single one of these developments, I think they're great. I think they're going to be beautiful in Highland Park. But if we pave the way and make it easy for one person, if we let one person slide, then we open the door for more problems and more liabilities. I simply ask that there are things missing from these respective proposals and that they be adjusted. That's all I asked. Now, for those of you who like to read, like I like to read, again, I will recite these ordinances for you. The most important ones is 208.10, 208.11. Then we got 208.0 all the way to 0.14. Then we have ordinances 238. Then there's ordinances 242. Then there's ordinance 778. Then there's ordinance 1220. Then there's ordinance 1226. Then there's ordinance 1230, ordinance 1232, ordinance 1260, and 1274. Those ordinances need to be read. They need to be followed. The process must be maintained. Everybody gets the same bite at the apple. There'll be no special treatment. I know that you want to help out your friends and your buddies, but you know how I am about favors. You can't come here and ask me to break the rules for one person and hold another person liable to them same rules. And while I have you, I would like to state for the record, and I want the record to show that I rescind my vote for the gas station on Oakland. I rescind that vote because they are also in violation of the same rules. Now, this is information I just recently found out. They gave us this big Bible here, but the information for development is not in this big Bible. I had to go on Muni codes to look for it, and you could do the same. Go on Muni codes and punch these ordinances in and have a good read. I need you to be educated here, HB, and know what's going on. The rules are the rules. The rules are set and the process must be followed. That's all I'm simply saying. I'm not holding anybody back. I'm not standing in the way of any development. And it's true what Council President said. None of us have a degree in development, but we can read ordinances and comprehend what the rules say about what needs to be done in order for a development to pass here in the city of Highland Park. You can do the same. Highland Park is strong. Highland Park is fighters. And we know how to read and pay attention to what's going on. So all I'm asking you to do, ladies and gentlemen, is to take a look. And I yield back.
Thank you, Ms. Martin.
Hello, citizens. I want to say thank you for coming out. I just want to do a couple acknowledgements. I'm not going to be long. I know you talked about SIPA, I was going to call it the tea place, the coffee place, but you're not going to do tea. Well, I plan to do some of this reading of this nice Christmas list that Mr. Shafi gave. I will say I did read 208 and 208.11 and 208.10. There are some questions I do have on these specific ordinance. So I will say that the other ones I haven't read just yet. On top of that, I'm just going to move from that and say I'm going to acknowledge a couple of people in District 2. Last week we did a cleanup in District 2, Precinct 3. Great job. We got another cleanup coming up. I don't have dates just yet. I also want to say congratulations, Gracie, on the October 12th filling up the bus, and congratulations to Highland Park on doing that. As of right now, that's all I have to say, and I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Manica. Thank you.
So much, Ms. Martin. Appreciate you, Ms. Manica.
Good evening, everyone. Congratulations on the bus being filled to go to Lansing, Miss Gracie. Congratulations to you guys for your efforts. Also, I'm looking forward to being able to go and sit. I'm the same way, Lauren, that we always have to leave. We have to leave Highland Park to go. But my issue is that besides, I want us to do it right. So yeah, we're gonna do some things that's gonna seem different from the previous administration. But sometimes we do a little bit. Some things are not for us. Some things we can ask about, or that's like, I understand, and I'm not saying nobody out there can't understand what's being given to them, but now you open it up for interpretation. If somebody's going to interpret it for me, I expect it to be the lawyers and to get it right. But at some point, we've got to start somewhere in this city. And if the ordinance is the issue, then maybe we should be discussing the ordinance and making sure that the ordinance fit this city at this time, in this time of an era. Because I know that there are ordinances that don't fit us because we're not in 1908, but we were established then. So it's not necessarily always with the people that's coming to us, it's with us. So either we're gonna start working on making sure what we have is correct, or we're gonna continue to look like this. And personally, I'm tired of looking like this. So we do have from top to bottom, we have to fix some things. So let's start fixing on those things. And then we won't even have these issues right here before us. So I am still looking forward to tea, coffee, croissant, whatever. I already Danish everything, okay? So I do have some requests and I do have some things for the mayor, engineers and stuff from the citizens. I'm just kind of making sure that citizens or residents know that it has been passed on. I've already talked to who needs to know, but the alleyway between East Grand, between between John R. and Brush, that the alleyway, once you get toward the middle, is kind of, it needs to be cleared out. So I don't know who that exactly, but I've told all three, so they are aware. I'm also asking for a list of grants that we did not get. And then I actually have already talked to the director of Parks and Rec. And so I just want to know what companies or a list of the people that are adopt a park. Did they adopt a park or just a playground? If we already have a list so that we can spread it out and everybody won't be doing the same. I want to say thank you to Say Yes for all the things that they've been doing and contributing to our parks. I also want to see Say Yes area looking like a great park too. That area there. So I want to say, I don't know if anybody knows though, there has been some actual cleanup in the area between Cortland and Glendale, between 2nd and 3rd. We do have somebody who has been working in that college area. They do not own the college, but the back end, there has been some cleanup. There's been some progress. They've been working on the building. They've added lights. Wayne Metro as well has been working on their property to make it look more presentable in the city. So I thank both of those entities in that respect. I'm hoping that I'm not forgetting anything. Again, we're coming upon the Christmas season lighting or Christmas fall season. I'm asking that, I know we complain about lights, but let's decorate our city. Let's also turn on our lights if you can. I know people think it's a whole lot, but that would help. It would definitely help. And I understand the situation, for instance, with that alley. The more lighting we add, we got to help each other. I keep saying this every time we come to a meeting. Residents, we have to help each other. We have to help our city, because if not, it won't be our city. I think I covered everything. Look for some programming, some resources coming up, definitely from the senior coordinator, from the mayor, and possibly from city council or just organizations coming in to offer some relief.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam Pro Tem.
Good evening, everybody. I love y'all, Highland Park. I would like to acknowledge that my pastor is here as always. And I wanted to speak to everyone that wants to develop in Highland Park. Back in February, we received this book. I sat at my desk with this book and the city charter and went through every page. Took me 3 days. And this is for the record. Sections are missing. Sections do not match. We have been asking since January the 2nd, I know myself, and still haven't gotten them. So we don't want to just say yes to your project, Martell, you know I love you. And then later on, the plug got to get pulled because it didn't go right because of this. So that's what I wanted to let everybody know today. God bless y'all and I love y'all.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Here you go.
Can you people see that screen up there? You in the back? Can you see the screen? Can you guys see it? What does it say right now? It says Charles Lackey. Okay. So I won't tell people to keep my name out their mouth. I'll just show. So I am not an expert in development. I don't have a degree in development. Oh yeah, I'm putting something on the screen so everybody at home can see it too. But what I am is, yeah, take a nice walk. Can you see your, people at home, can you see your screen? That's a picture of the Oakland County Land Bank Director, the City of Detroit Land Bank Director, and your City Council President. Your MEDC rep for Southeastern Michigan, who underwrites every development in Southeastern Michigan, asked me to sit on a panel with the Land Bank Director for Oakland County, with the Land Bank Director for the City of Detroit. Now, I'm funny looking, but I'm not stupid. Why would I be sitting there? Why would the director for the MEDC covering Detroit have me sitting at that table? Why would that happen? No, I do not know everything about development, but I know there was some things asked here tonight. It'd be like a man wanting to marry my daughter and I say, how many grandsons you gonna give me? I won't let you marry my daughter until you tell me how many grandsons you're gonna have. He would say, sir, there's absolutely no way of knowing how many children we have until we get married. You guys must love the insanity that goes on right here. The stupid stuff that happens in your name, you must like it. Because you have things going on that do not happen in our sister city, 250 feet from here. You cross on Tennessee and you're in Detroit and all of a sudden it's like going to a different planet. What is going on, y'all? I'm just a city council president. I'm 1/5 of city council. What are you going to do about the madness that occurs in this room every 2 weeks? How long are you going to sit there and let these people run the city into the wall? We spend 1/3 of our time on marijuana. We spend 1/3 of our time arguing about what's what. I got a dozen TV reporters in my phone that I talk to on a regular basis. They're still waiting for their email. What's going on? When are we going to do something about this? You got to go back. You got to go back to next year because former council president Chris Woodis used to always say this: the smart people need to get together in the room because the other folks are in the room now. Some people got together to ruin your election. Somebody got together to undercut your election, to knock all the candidates off the ballot. Somebody paid to do that. They paid to disenfranchise you. Somebody spent money to make sure that your current city council looks like it is right now. And if I'm gonna be honest with you, because I love God, so I'm gonna tell the truth always, I probably shouldn't be sitting in this chair, but I went to register for this race after lunch on the last day. So chances are whoever did that was gonna be city council president. It's like putting 500 white marbles into a jar, covering your eyes and pulling out 4 blue ones. It's only one person that I knew was gonna be a council person. She's sitting right here. I voted for her myself. How long y'all gonna let this go on? You actually think after 9 months, the way that your government is going on is an accident? Somebody got together to make this a reality. I shouldn't be here. Lord knows I don't want to come twice a month. But for whatever reason, God put me in this chair. Maybe he put me here tonight on October 2nd to tell you, y'all getting played. People tell you how much they love you. And they get in the way of your government making progress. And you people don't do anything. If I went to Hamtramck, they'd be rioting right now. If I went downtown to Detroit, those people would be out in front of that building pitching a you know what. What are you waiting on? What are you waiting on? There are people who legally shouldn't be sitting here. What are y'all waiting on? This is your government. This is your government at work. So those of you who love this city, who are watching this happen, none of you imagined this in January. You were all singing the song from The Wiz. Can you see a brand new day? What has happened for the last 9 months, y'all? It's the same people here every week. It's the same people here every week. It needs to be 5, 10 times as many people here seeing what's going on, or it's going to continue to go on. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to continue to go on. So I implore you to go talk to your neighbors. I appreciate the people that are here, but I implore you to go talk to your neighbors. So this will continue for the next 4 years. And 4 years from now, you'll have a brand new government, and it might not look like us. Ladies and gentlemen, having concluded all business of the city of Highland Park,
I just have one, I just want to say one thing, just one, please.
go for it then. I mean, come on.
I forgot, I'm sorry to the residents that asked me to ask this, so we're looking into it. So hopefully next meeting, we'll have a better answer. That is, who's responsible for the area behind your house or business? That's like the alley. It's a little section I think they're asking about. And so is it the cities or is it the residents? Residents, I want to say it's yours, but we're going to check on it. Thank you.
Having concluded all business for the city of Highland Park, the chair is open to entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
We have a motion on the floor. All those in favor? Aye. The ayes have it. Have a good night, y'all. 8:38.